Call you Shirley.
And a boy.
Call me Shirley.
Hey, internets! It's Jake from Any Terrain Domain, and this is Welcome to Paradise Academy. This is The Big Dance, Season 2, Episode 15. It is Part 3 of our Homecoming series. Each session sort of been its own self-contained thing, and has sort of been building up to this big dance. So we'll find out what happens in just a few moments. We're getting a little bit of a late start due to, quite frankly, we weren't even sure we were going to start. So everybody please pray to the old gods, the new gods, the tech gods, whatever, that the internet stays stable tonight. I'm for some reason blanking on how to do production as I'm trying to account for this surge of domain pops. Either somebody's
While you're in production
anticipating-
mode, Jacob, I have a question.
Yes.
Could we see Ted? Could you present him to the world? And
don't-
also, I'm missing a part of my face.
Everybody's here.
I know. But we can't see Ted.
On the overlay.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying I don't understand. I'm not sure what's happening, why this isn't working.
Oh.
You know
So
what? Take your time. Do you want me to do a
Here's-
little plug while you think?
yeah, I'm actually going to troubleshoot a little bit here. Oh, I know
boy.
why. Boop. I just had Ted's camera off for
But
some reason.
the question is, are you ready to partay?
Partay.
Had Ted's,
Are you ready?
I had Ted's camera off, and
This is wonderful.
there we go.
There we go.
And I hadn't adjusted the thing. It's almost like I was stressed that the internet was out all day.
There we go.
Okay, let's get back into the sync here real quick. I was making an adjustment to the surge of domain pops because it's almost like somebody's anticipating needing or dropping a bunch of domain pops during this game. Domain pops, what are they? Well, if you look up above M and Tamiko in the right hand corner, you'll see those tasty red, white, and blue bomb pops. We don't call them bomb pops. We call them, what are they called?
Terrain treats.
Terrain
domain
treats,
pops.
domain pops, +1 to fun. Every one of these can be used as a +1 to a dice roll up to, you've got 39. So I guess if you were that desperate, you could add 39 domain pops to a dice roll. Or you can spend 5 of them. Anybody can spend 5 of them to cause anybody else or themselves to roll on the D100 mystery grab bag table. Couple things by way of announcements, super quick. Tune in Monday nights to catch Scribes and Scrolls, where you will catch myself, Gary, and Carrie in what is now officially our last probably 4 episodes of the campaign. That's on Monday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern. And then every other Tuesday, in fact, just this past Tuesday, we had another session of Sky Metal Iron Gods, our D&D 5e game in which Em and I play along with Sarah, Karen, and Dungeon Master Vi. And of course, every Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, you can catch us right here for Kids on Bikes. Welcome to Paradise Academy. We are I'm trying to get in the habit of using and announcing these new commands that we have. We are adults portraying fictitious characters in a fantastic setting. You may hear graphic depictions of violence, intense dramatic roleplay, or sensitive topics, including but not limited to divorce, bullying, alcohol and substance use and abuse, and more. If this is something that doesn't appeal to you, we encourage you to take care of yourself and leave the stream. That said, it should be noted that at our table, we have had session zeros that where we've discussed everybody's lines and veils. We've discussed what safety tools we're going to use. And we use a traffic light system, red, yellow, green, to make sure that we all stay safe at the table, just in case for whatever reason. So We encourage you to use safety tools and session zeros at your own tables. Let's see. Mental health. We make it a point for every game to let you know that you matter. Your presence on this earth makes a difference. Even if you don't believe that to be true, it is. No matter where you are in the state of your mental health, your journey, whatever, it's always good to have somebody to talk to. And if you're unsure how to get started, all you have to do is go to chat, type !help, and a couple of URLs will pop up. Those are findahelpline.com, or you can check out the growing list of resources at takethis.org. We encourage you to check out those websites, bookmark them, save them for yourself, save them for a friend, and remember, you matter. One last announcement, I kind of forgot to mention this, but our friend of the channel, Jay Neofet, is running a Star Wars Day, May the 4th charity stream event. He's got some pretty cool people that are joining him, including, I forget their name, but somebody from Smuggler's Coffee, Anthony Joyce Rivera, artist Julia Madalena, and formerly known as Emily, who many will recognize from the Discord, as well as some of Jay's Star Wars games, raising money for the American Stroke Foundation. That game will start at 7:30 p.m. and run for about 3 hours, hoping to raise about $1,000 for the American Stroke Foundation. So hope you'll tune in to the Carrie, I believe. Well, I guess anybody could know it, but Carrie hangs out, moons lights over on that channel, Emporium for the Wayward Gamer. If somebody could drop that or just do a shout out, !SO and Emporium for the Wayward Gamer, be sure to follow that channel, and we hope to see you there on Saturday. With that, I would like to welcome you all to Paradise Academy and Homecoming Night. The big game has happened, and of course, Paradise Bucks were victorious with an unheard of record-breaking score. In fact, I think they broke the junior varsity's basketball scores for the week. With that score, it was like, what was it, like 67-47 or something like that?
Yeah. Tamiko had it in the notes, but I forgot. I read them, I promise.
So, in this world, the homecoming dance happens immediately after the game, so everybody has to rush home and get ready, and then that's where we're going to pick up on this night. Before we even get to the dance, we're gonna check in on everybody as they are getting ready for the big dance. What I would like to do is we're gonna check in on some of the others, and then we're gonna come. We're going to sort of end with the two of you that are looking to have a special montage. So, Laz, what are you doing getting ready for this dance that you are both attending and working?
So, I think, I think we see Laz coming down the stairs in his house. Kind of as he's getting the last bit of his clothing on, and he's very much not dressed in typical Laz attire. He is wearing a full suit, but it is a black zoot suit. It is pinstriped, and he has a wallet chain hanging on one side, like down to one of his knees. He has a pair of like saddle shoes on, and of course, his nails have been freshly painted black to match the rest of his outfit. And he is trying to figure out how this whole corsage thing works. He's kind of like standing in front of probably his mom, actually, trying to get her to help him figure this out.
Yeah, I was gonna suggest that it was probably your mother, who is Jeannie, who is standing there. in typical fashion, she's probably, I imagine she's wearing a sleeveless band shirt from another band. She's probably either preparing to or taking a break from rehearsal. Probably spends a lot of time rehearsing in the house studio with the tour coming up. But she absolutely made sure she was here to help you get your corsage figured out. And I think it's with like very deft hands that as you're fumbling with it, she doesn't even like do the, push your hands out of the way or anything. She just does the mom thing that you're used to, where as soon as she puts her hands on it, you just kind of pull your hands away, and in seconds it's perfectly fastened on there. And then she kind of looks up at you and she says, your eyeliner, are you going more for Joan Jett or Alice Cooper?
Got a cat eye. He doesn't even know.
Kind of more Alice Cooper, I guess.
All right, and then
the picture was grainy. Okay,
it was raining. Is that what you said?
The picture was
grainy. Okay,
I was gonna say, because
you need to
mascara in the rain is a whole other look. That's Pris. That's Pris from Blade Runner.
From The Cure. Running down my face.
So, yeah, she kind of makes a couple quick adjustments, and helps to sort of smear at the edges a little bit and at the corners, and then she just she can't help herself. She stands back and she's just kind of looking at you, and she may be a rock star, but she is beaming like a mom. And she goes, hold on. And she runs just around the corner and comes back with somehow I imagine that your mom has, despite the money that you guys have, she has a 110 camera with a rotating flash bulb.
Oh.
And she just pulls it out of a drawer, and she goes, kind of fumbles putting the thing in, and she goes, all right. And it's for those that don't know, a 110 is like almost like a brick, and it's got this dual flash cube that rotates every time you take a picture. I think you get like 4 flashes out of it total. And she just kind of goes,
I'm not going to be able to see anything. So
and you just get blasted with this flash. All right, give me another look.
You gonna do it again?
We can't have more than one.
I'm definitely stuck in like a
this is a
position.
series.
You're lucky. That was the end of the roll. And she sets it.
Right.
She sets it on the little sideboard. I'll have your dad develop these.
So, how do I look?
She looks you up and down. She kind of reaches out and just, even though they don't need adjusting, she just kind of adjusts the lapels and lays them out. And she gets a little teary-eyed, and then she goes, well, hell, Laz, if I was 15, I'd hope you'd ask me to the dance.
Mom, that's gross. Come on. No.
I know. And then she gives you a big kiss on the cheek.
Oh my god.
Right,
that is
all right.
adorable.
All right, have fun. There's a level of fun that's expected, and there's a level of fun that's allowed. Try to stay not too far outside of the realms of expectation and allowance.
I already told you, it's like basically detention. I have to work for it. Like, I'm gonna be at the front door all night long.
All right, well, do me one last favor. Try not to break too many hearts. And then she sends you out the door. Which I got to imagine, despite
I love her.
the way he's made up, Laz heads out the door and just bombs Stonehill again on his skateboard.
Oh, that's so cool.
Absolutely.
He was wearing
100%.
sneakers with suits before
All right.
it was cool.
Real
Oh, yeah.
quick,
He's definitely wearing his black chucks.
real quick, because I'm I don't want to mess with juggling too much in my brain.
Mhm.
I'm going to kick myself out.
Goodbye,
Everything's going
other
to get
Jake.
scrambled
Ah,
as we let Chad in.
it looks like you guys are like.
Maybe? There he is.
That's great.
And then I
Oh,
need
we
to-
have fun.
There
he
we
is.
go. All right.
It's the Chad.
So,
Chad was great. The Chad was great.
welcome, Chad. We've done, Laz is getting ready. Let's go ahead and bop over to Billy.
So, we see kind of in a similar situation with, Laz kind of getting ready. Billy has got everything that's all laid out and what have you. Doesn't want to mess up his jacket because he knows it's not time to leave yet, so it's still, hung up and pristine. But he's got on, as much as Billy has complained about, being wealthy and being a stapler, he's using it to its fullest advantage. So like everything is, top of the line, tailor fit and the whole nine. And Ted has no knowledge about any of that stuff. So, forgive me for, not mentioning any kind of like name brands or anything. But like he's there having a conversation with his
Boss.
mother. What was that?
I said Hugo Boss is probably a
100%.
timeless.
But and he's like, looking at the different ties that are laid out and trying to make sure that he's got the right color tie to go with the flowers and the color dress that he was told it's supposed to be, so that it all matches as best as possible. And he is tying the tie and getting that put on, and I see him grabbing the jacket and making sure that it fits and what have you, because he's just clearly nervous about the situation. And
You can call it a
Give it-
date.
you could call it a date, but you can see that he's more than just flustered. Like he keeps going back to like where the stuff is laid out, as if like maybe he's forgot something, and like you can see that he's just not completely there. And usually Billy is very precise, he's very orderly, and something is just off.
There's a knock at the door of your room. And
Answer.
then
I'm here.
the door sort of creaks open just a little bit, and you see Nancy, your mother, kind of poking her head in. She goes, I know, you said you wanted to do this all yourself. But you're taking a little longer than you should, and you're going to be late. Carson's waiting in the car already. Do you need anything? Are you all set?
Do I look like I have everything? Pretty sure the moon is messing with my head, and
Well,
don't really feel like I've felt this before. And I mean, I'm antsy enough in regards to everything that's going on, but I just feel that there's more. That makes sense.
all right. This is part of what we've been talking about. The things that happen on the night of a full moon, combined with the things that happen when you're 15. I can't do much about the 15-year-old aspects of this. But you've been training for this. And you've done very well, which is why we're allowing you The moon is not supposed to turn to its fullness until after midnight. The dance is supposed to end by 11:30. Carson will be waiting. It's a DM note. It is. I'm realizing how ironic it is that the dance is called Midnight Masquerade. I just said it ended at 11:30. So let me retcon that.
That's
the dance ends at midnight. And Carson will be waiting.
If the game got over at a certain time, it's got to get over.
I mean, listen, there's a certain point where,
obviously.
like in TV shows, the logic just doesn't line up for why certain things happen the way they do. So,
it was also a night game, as we established, because
Yeah.
there were stadium lights on. But whatever.
And I
Yeah,
think
but that tracks
sometimes
because
you
the
just have
game
to
the game
accept the
started at
fantasy.
like 4 and it's dark by 4.
that started
Sure.
it started at 5 or 6. I don't remember. It's
We're trying to
irrelevant
make this
because
work, Jacob.
Nancy is helping
It's a
Billy.
game. This is fantasy. Get over it.
Nancy is in much the similar fashion to Jeannie. Nancy is fussing over Billy a little bit, making sure the tie is straight, and except she does the thing where she makes sure your tie is straight, and then as you're standing in front of this mirror, she kind of walks in behind you and is sort of like straightening out the shoulders and running her hands down your arms. She reaches over to the dresser and she grabs a lint roller and she's not like rolling it, she's literally going getting
Oh my
individual
God.
pieces of lint. And you realize she's not even getting lint. She's just, this is one of those mom moments that she's trying to relish in. And she just stands there for a moment,
Well,
looking at you.
anything that is anything perceived by Billy that's gonna improve the impression, like he's all about it, and like normally he's he's pretty with it, and with him not really feeling or since he is feeling out of sorts, like he's needing somebody else to be like, okay, yes, you're ready, or no, you're not. And he's kind of like leaning on his mom for that. Her straightening out the tie. It's like, all right, you let me know when it's perfect, because that's ideally what he's looking for.
Yeah, and so I think that carries on for a few minutes, and then she just kind of looks at you and she goes, You are as ready as you're going to be, and if you get any readier, you're going to be late. Carson is waiting. Are you picking up your date?
I would have imagined that would have been the arrangements if Jessica would want that.
So the side question then is for Jessica and Rosie. Whose house are you getting ready at? Rosie's house on the hill or
know.
Jessica's trailer in
Honestly, like
Starlight?
Rosie would do whatever's easier for Jessica. Jessica's already doing her a pretty big favor, and so like
Jessica's got the closet.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I imagine Jessica, because she has Rosie's dress.
yeah.
Okay. So Billy knows, or more importantly, Carson knows that you need to go to the Starlight mobile park to pick up your date. So unless you have anything further,
Nope.
I almost imagine we do a flyaway from the bedroom window where we just see the lighted window in the Stapler house and fly across town and zoom into about a mile south into Coop. It's Coop's house.
Actually, not Coop's house. Coop doesn't end up going home.
Okay.
After the big game, immediately after the big game, he follows the rest of the players into the locker room, and then sits under one of those woo dryers for like 10 minutes because the Bucky
Aw.
suit is soaking wet. So he has to sit there until the Bucky suit gets dry, and then after it's all dry, most of the people have already headed out, but there's still a few people here and there. He grabs the buddy brush, which is basically a really old like valet brush, and he has to like fix the fuzz
God,
and whatnot
so
before he
dedicated.
tucks the suit back into its thing, locks it up because it has a lock. And then he goes to his locker, because where he had changed in the locker room previously. And he pulls out his backpack, and he pulls a shirt out of his backpack, fluffs it out, and puts that on, and then goes and stands in front of the mirror with a comb and tries to
Oh my god.
I love him so much.
getting the comb wet. And there's still like parts that are like bang in the back.
That is so. Oh my god. Oh my god.
It's like the Kevin McAllister getting ready after a shower scene, except in a boys' locker room.
Oh my gosh.
I got to imagine though, with that camera flying through, it flies into Coop's room, and all we see is. Did you name the plant lizard?
Named him yet.
So there's the plant lizard on the ceiling. There's at least 2 to 3 times more blossoming plants all around the room. There's James, and for some reason I just pictured James and Templeton are sitting on the desk. James, in between them is like a checkerboard, and Templeton is like moving pieces around, and James, it looks like it's his turn, and he picks up one of the checkers and just starts going and then the camera zooms back to the school to where we see your scene.
I love them.
So then we're going to head to the other side of town, into what I imagine is the men's restroom at the Shipwreck Cafe, where Oak is getting ready.
Yep. In the restroom at the cafe, there's like, I imagine like a porthole mirror,
Yes.
like that's very thematic, you know.
Yes, it's got that
that particular
brass.
bathroom, the brass like rope
Oh my gosh.
filigree around it, and he's like looking in the mirror. He's got his jacket on. He looks, for all intents and purposes, I've been going back and forth on this, but he looks like intentional Buckaroo Banzai, right? Like he is trying to go full bore into that.
As you're looking in the mirror, and we see sort of over your shoulder as you're looking into this porthole mirror, and we see the obvious what you're going for, we hear a voice in the bathroom with you that says, "Are you trying to look like Buckaroo Banzai?"
I mean, I wasn't thinking about it, but you know, like, I mean, once you figure something out, might as well. What should I go with? Should I do bright red, or like, is this too big? Like, is that too much? Like,
We see
I don't know.
we see a spectral image of a girl move through. She's transparent as she kind of moves through to the other side. This is Holly, your sister from the cemetery. Holly the ghost.
Oh my god. Yes,
As
Holly,
she
your dead
kind of
sister.
reaches out like she wants to help, like grab a tie, and she just says, "Well, I'm gonna be honest. Pretty much any one of these ties is gonna look huge on your thin neck."
Rude. I mean, accurate, but rude. Okay. God, if I wasn't sweating already. Okay.
Not my fault you have a skinny neck.
Yeah. Okay. Again, rude. Why? Why do this before a dance? Like, you could have chose any other time to make fun of me, but right now.
What are you gonna do? Hit me? She kind of laughs.
That's okay.
Whatever. Okay. So what did you what did you mean by like, you know, I don't know. Maybe we could talk about it after the dance, but like him in the other room, like, is everything okay? Are we safe here?
I think that you should go to the dance and have the best time that you can possibly have. And don't think about anything but hanging out with your friends and enjoying the night. There's going to be so much time after the dance to worry about all the weird stuff that's going on. So I don't think it's going anywhere. And I don't think you should be concerning yourself with this stuff right before the dance. I mean, what are you going to do if you go with your date and you're in the middle of slow dancing to time after time, and all of a sudden she leans in for a kiss, and you start thinking about Heinz, and you see an old German sea captain instead of this cute girl that you're dancing with. You're muted.
You're muted, brother.
Oh, okay, fine. I get it. I'm sorry. You're right. He looks around in the bathroom. Like, I imagine that there's also a thematic medicine cabinet somewhere in there that like is for first aid kit stuff, and he pulls it out, and there's like he just pulls like some mouthwash from the cabinet and just like swishes it around, and then
she goes, oh,
just in case.
This is gross. Why am I in here? And she just kind of floats backwards through the door.
Hey, hold on, Holly, wait.
Her face pokes in through the door. What?
Oh my god!
Hey, I just wanted to say, like, thank. Are you coming to the dance with me, or like?
I don't think that's a good idea.
What are you gonna do while? I mean, no, I agree. Probably not great. Probably not a good idea. But I just figured I would ask. Because I don't know what you're going to be doing.
Do what you've been doing for the last... Well, since the accident. Don't worry about where I am or what I'm doing.
Okay.
You're not going to have fun if you're thinking about all that kind of stuff.
You're right. Okay, you're right. Thanks. I'll see you later. Okay.
Yep. You're all set.
And then yeah, he'll kind of like do a last minute adjustment on whatever bow tie he chooses to pick, and then he'll fluff the jacket a little bit and head out to see Heinz and have Heinz run him back to the school.
And we just see as Ghost Holly just kind of watches. You see from her perspective, almost like looking through her as we see you and Heinz leave to go back to the school. Which takes us to, interestingly, if I remember my map correctly, one of the routes they could take would be to drive right past the Starlight Mobile Trailer Park. So we see the yellow star that's going boom, boom, boom. It's actually making that. It's the 80s. It's totally making that neon. Boom, boom, boom. And then in blue, it says Starlight, and then it's ringed in pink neon and says mobile park. And then there's a below that is a yellow square sign that's sort of flickering that says vacancy, and then solid next to it is the no. And we head into the Smith trailer, into Jessica's room, where Rosie and Jessica are getting ready.
I imagine that the first thing that you hear is Jessica saying, hold still. Have you never worn mascara before?
I just am really nervous when ink is like a millimeter away from my eye, Jess. I'm sorry. And also, no, I haven't.
Just like open your eye. No, close your eye. No, look up, she says as she's like, you see that Jessica has like a grip on Rosie's head as she's like trying to apply this mascara.
I'm being as still as I can be. Anyway.
She's like,
is this helping?
And I imagine there's like music blasting as well.
I just wanna have
it's
fun.
Girls Want to Have Fun. Second Cyndi Lauper reference of the episode, bye, but
those are two required songs
100%
in an 80s reference.
Amazing. And Rosie is also kind of just waiting on this call. She's gonna get a call, and she's told Jimmy to call her here. She still doesn't fucking know if he's coming. And so he's kind of waiting until the last minute to make a choice, I guess. Rosie's kind of nervous. Like, she starts to think, like, if he shows up, like, she's going to have to sit with him. But then, like, my God, if he doesn't show up, can she just, like, go alone? Is that, like, socially acceptable? Like, lots of things.
Are you thinking these, or are you saying this out loud to Jessica?
I'm saying this out loud to Jessica. Okay. I'm totally venting right out loud.
Jessica's like nodding as she does so. She's like taking the blush, more blush, and like putting it on Rosie's cheeks. I still don't understand why you just didn't go with Laz in the first place.
Because I already said I was gonna go with Jimmy, and I'm the kind of person that does what I say I'm gonna do. Laz,
and that's fine, but like, you don't like Jimmy. Or do you? She like takes a step back. She's like, do you like both of them?
Well, Jess, like, I kind of just started hanging out with Laz recently. Jimmy and I have known each other forever. I don't know. It's hard to say, I guess.
You hear Jessica just ooh, like as she like.
I think it's at that moment, I have a question and then an interjection. You're in your room getting ready. You have a closet that is literally floor-to-ceiling mirrors. What is the state of that closet door right now?
Closed for now. And you see that, so I imagine like there's like a vanity. And I think there's a very specific reason why that closet door is closed that will go. But the vanity is there, but Jessica is like, her back is towards it so that Rosie is facing the mirror, but Jess is not.
Sure.
Then the interjection is ring, ring, ring. What is the phone that is in your room in 1985 that is ringing
what
now?
Color is it, and why is it avocado?
Sorry.
I realize I'm asking the youngest one of us the furthest away from the 80s to identify.
What do you
80s.
mean? What
Phones
is it?
used to sit on a table all the time.
Jessica 100% has the clear plastic phone.
I was going to say it's probably clear
components.
plastic pink. When I mean what is it, in the 80s there were a lot of thematic phones like Garfield, a pair of lips.
I have my
a
football
football, all kinds of stuff like that. But also the bright sort of neon colored transparent plastic. They were these sort of like clamshell. Not really clamshell, but they were really low profile, and they had push button like that glowed. Maybe I am concussed. That with a bright green. So yeah, that's what's ringing right now, and it's got these lights that make the pink light up every time it rings.
my God.
Could there be glitter? Like,
Oh, you mean
Somehow,
like
yes.
it's got like it's in between layers of plastic? There's that glycerin that's got glitter floating around in
Yeah.
it. Absolutely.
Awesome.
yeah, 100%.
Jess, I'm running the clock. I can't answer it. You answer it. Just
all
answer
right.
it and give me a second. I gotta think.
She like gives Rosie like a weird look, but then she goes over and sorry, what was his name again?
Jimmy.
She's like, she just answers it. She's like, Jimmy.
I'm Rosie?
No.
But-
What?
I mean,
You don't even know the name of the person you're taking to the dance? That's kind of... That's not a good look, Jimmy.
I'm taking Rosie? I mean, I was supposed to take Rose. This is Jessica.
You hear like this like cackling from the other side.
Give me the phone, Jess. I'm
Um,
ready.
She like gives it to Jess. She's like, I like him. She like hands it over.
I'm counting that as the he's Coop, I'm Oak square.
Because M just called you Jess.
Yeah.
Oh, Oops.
No worries, bro.
Rosie.
No worries.
So
I
many
passed.
names.
My
Listen.
concussion is it's contagious.
Yep.
So finally, Rosie's like, hey, Jimmy.
Oh yeah, yeah, Rosie. Hey, you told me to call you here and let you know. So
Yeah, how's the drumstick?
well, you know how I had a broken leg?
Yeah, I remember that.
I might have done something stupid, and now I've got two.
What the hell happened?
I was trying to. They got this thing all so solid in this cast, which you totally need to sign it, and please sign over where Leonard drew a big dick on it.
Oh, that sucks, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah, right. Anyway, I thought, hey, my leg's not going anywhere with this, and I was trying to figure these stupid crutches out. And
jeez.
crutches on a tile floor don't go so good. And I fell down my own stairs at home. I just got back from the hospital, and my dad is pissed. My mom is pissed, and I have two broken legs.
And I'm pissed.
Also, I am so high right now. I have so many painkillers. So I can't even feel it.
Okay.
I mean, I would totally
Okay.
come and take you right now to the dance, but I mean, it kind of puts a whole... Ooh, the dance part won't happen.
Yeah.
And you know what else?
I know.
I'm probably not going to play baseball either.
Call me back when you start feeling bad about that, Jimmy.
Oh yeah, I am going to be heartbroken when I'm not high. But right now, I might just stay high.
Attaboy. All right. Well, have fun.
Hey,
We'll talk later.
I'm really sorry, Rosie.
It's okay, Jimmy. It happens. Don't feel bad.
I don't feel anything right now.
But don't fucking laugh either, you jackass. I'll see you tomorrow. And Rosie would click.
As soon as she clicks it, Jessica picks up the phone and starts like, she's like, what's Laz's number?
I don't know.
You know, what is it? Tell me.
I'm not going to tell you because you're going to call and you're going to get me in a pinch that I don't want to be in, Jess.
Come on. You know you want to ask him.
555 87.
She like giggles and begins to type in the number.
She gives it to her.
It's 555-1212.
Yeah, right, it is.
That's the phone number for information anywhere. Oh, That tracks.
So Jess is gonna ring Laz.
So for our first dice roll of tonight, Jeremy, I'm gonna roll a D100 to find out if you are out the door and down the hill before Jessica is calling you. Actually, we're gonna make this interesting. Roll a D100 and DM it to me.
Okay.
Oh,
And I'm gonna say
Secrets are no fun, Jacob.
what?
I said secrets are no fun.
Oh, yes, they are.
Secrets hurt someone.
Oh, in this game, secrets are the best. All right, so I'm gonna
and they
say
hurt someone.
And they hurt someone.
especially when they hurt someone. I'm gonna say let's just call it 50-50. If you get within 25 on either side of what M rolled, then you'll get the call.
Okay. I got a 6.
We see the phone ringing in the Eccles residence, and it's actually Jeannie that answers the phone. She already has drumsticks in hand. Looks like she was just heading down to the studio. She picks it up and she goes, "Yeah." And we see the next shot we see is the door opening as she's trying to catch you, but Laz, you're already bombing down the hill, and Jessica, Laz is already gone.
Yeah, you hear Jessica ask, what is Laz's last name?
Eccles.
Eccles? Yeah. Ask Mrs. Eccles if Laz is home. And Rosie, you see Jess kind of scrunch up her nose. Okay, thank you. And she hangs up. He had already left.
Okay, I'll catch up with him at the dance. And Rosie like kind of sighs and looks, and her eyes light up, and you realize she sees herself in the mirror, as for the first time since this frickin' process has began.
Oh yeah.
And she just kind of she goes, "Wow." And I think Rosie looks pretty, and she is not used to looking pretty, and she just kind of is spellbound for a second.
I imagine that Jessica genuinely is probably pretty good. It's not too much makeup, because for Rosie, she knows that Rosie probably wouldn't like that. So it's just a little bit, and she just adds. She's like, "Oh wait," and she goes and she gets this little bit of lip gloss that smells like vanilla bubblegum or something like that. And then she opens the closet door, but only the one side. She keeps the other side closed, and she is rifling through what seems to be the other side of the closet without opening that door. As she's rifling in the back, she's like, "I have this dress somewhere," as she's she finally pulls it out. I imagine it's baby blue.
Aww.
This bright baby blue dress with the ruffles and around the sleeves,
the big poofy shoulders,
the poofy shoulders,
which we're
absolutely.
totally in at this time.
Oh yeah,
it's a beautiful dress for the 80s.
For the 80s,
it is what it is.
Yes.
And I imagine, yeah,
she holds it up to Rosie.
Wow. Yeah, that one's pretty. And Rosie kind of takes it. Rosie kind of takes it, kind of scurries out of the room and squeezes herself into what I'm sure is a pretty small bathroom, and kind comes back out and comes back into Jess's room and is dressed. And
can I say, when you're in the bathroom,
Mhm.
you notice that there are like scratch marks around the edge of the mirror.
Wow. Yeah, Rosie kind of notices that halfway out the door. Move, cat. And she's just kind of like doesn't even like make a mental note, but I guess does, because notices that it's weird and just kind of like, huh. And then she goes back and kind of comes into the room and like holds her arms out and be like,
You look beautiful, she says. Rosie, you should wear dresses more often. They look really good.
oh my. And Rosie kind of like looks down at herself and is like, I maybe this is, since Jimmy's not going anyway, what if people like laugh at me? They haven't ever seen me in a dress either.
No one in their right mind is going to laugh at you. You look beautiful. No one is going to laugh at the beautiful girl in a dress. That just doesn't happen.
Okay, thanks, Jess. I really appreciate all your help.
We're gonna have a good time. This is gonna be fun.
Yeah. And is Jessica like dressed herself at this time or not?
I imagine Jess is probably not in her outfit yet, but has her makeup and her perfect curls, of course.
Of course. I imagine Rosie does just kind of like hang out while Jess is getting herself ready, and I imagine they just kind of chat.
I think,
yeah.
While she's kind of doing the same thing you did, you give her a little bit of privacy while she puts on her dress.
Oh, yeah.
And you step out into sort of, when you leave the bedroom, you kind of walk down that narrow hallway and into sort of the living room area, and there's a knock at the door. And Billy, that's where you are, is you've arrived and you're currently knocking at the door. You can see, Rosie, that the door to the trailer is one of those, it's got the sort of, it's almost like privacy glass, it's got that sort of
foggy.
I forget what it's called, but it's like all marbly, but it's on those plastic louvers where you got a little hand crank and opens partway, and it is partway opened. And you can see Billy standing out on the porch outside the door.
You being me or Jess?
You,
or
Rosie.
or...
Jess is in the other room getting ready.
Oh, yeah. And Rosie would go to the door and probably let Billy in and be like, "Hey, Billy Stapler, you are looking sharp."
Well, thank you. You look very well yourself.
Thanks. Very well is exactly what I was going for, Billy. And Rosie is like feeling not so confident again. And Rosie kind of sits down at I imagine there's like a chair somewhere, and probably not terribly ladylike.
I think we established that there's
a
a white leather couch in here, and then there's a couple of like wingback chairs.
Perfect. I sit in one. Rosie just kind of like bats down the ruffles and be like, "So you and Jess, huh?"
Yeah, I honestly, didn't really think this was gonna happen. I don't know if it's anything more than just a dance tonight, but
Billy, I have never known you to be less than self-confident.
Well, I'm not completely myself, and he kind of like gives you the the shifty look, and he like kind of fidgets.
Rosie also fidgets.
Hey, you know that, you know what happens at midnight tonight, right? Or past midnight.
Oh, I'm very quickly gathering it, man. All right, so you're gonna duck out early, or what happens?
My mom says that there is time if I don't dilly-dally. When the dance is over, I can, bring Jess back here and safely make it to the house on time before any nonsense happens. But then I didn't feel this way before. Like when it happened over the summer, it was either I was me or I was not me. Here, I'm feeling different. And it's been a struggle these last couple of weeks. And add in all of this, and I kind of point to your dress and my suit, and yeah.
That sucks, man.
So I didn't mean to offer any slight. My brain is not doing what it normally does. I'm not. And it kind of like gestures with his hands, like he can't think of the word to say.
Yeah, it's like almost like being. It's like when you get a concussion, when you get a pop.
So, as you're saying that, I imagine you're sitting in one of the chairs where Rosie's sitting on this white leather couch. Picture the couch up against a wall, and then to the left, as we're looking at it, is where the hallway is. Billy, you're sitting in one of the chairs. You have a line of sight on the hallway, and you see Jess coming down the hallway. Jess, tell us what we see as Jessica walks into the living room.
Yeah, Jessica is wearing this full-length pink, almost like a gown. It looks like it has like I guess like ruffles a little bit, like the more like flowers, or like I don't know the other word for it, but like up the top here, and it is sleeveless, and it's like tighter at the waist, and then kind of flares out a little bit at the bottom with like all of these like different long pink layers of this like fabric. And she has her hair all curled and blonde, like just flowing over, draping over her shoulders. Yeah.
So Billy just kind of. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say Rosie turns around and she like goes like, and she goes. I lean to Billy and I go, I thought she did a number on me.
So when Rosie nudges me, like I kind of get knocked out of my speechlessness for a moment, and I say, "Wow, you look amazing." And I've got the or what are they, like the plastic clamshell things that has the corsage and boutonniere in them and what have.
Yeah, and like Jess like puts out her wrist for you to put on the corsage.
So I'd slip it on your wrist, and my brain is not completely addled. I'm looking to make sure that the flowers actually are the correct color. Because if that matches, then that means my tie matches, and that means I did what I was supposed to do.
Yeah, Jess looks over the moon excited as she looks at her corsage, and back to Billy, and just like throws her arms around him in like this like very excited hug.
He will hug you back to make sure he doesn't hug too hard or crush the flowers or side chat is funny.
Side chat is side chat.
I think
Rosie's sitting there reading a Sports Illustrated, and she like looks up and she's like, "Can I get a ride?"
I was just about to ask if you needed a ride. I don't know whether it was ever communicated to Billy that you were going to be here.
No, I think
Well, I was supposed to get picked up. Unfortunately, the guy that was going to take me has broken both of his legs. So I think he might be lying. That sounds fake. I know one is true. Anyway, can I get a ride?
I am very sorry that Jimmy broke his other leg. You can, of course, get a ride. You know, there's plenty of room in the car. I don't want anyone saying anything. So if anybody makes any kind of comment, threaten to kick their ass, as you normally do.
Yeah, can do. B.
I think with that, we're going to do a good old 80s weight transition to we see sort of an establishing shot of the school, and it's this sort of high angle nighttime. We see a handful of cars pulling into the parking lot. We see a bunch of guys in various tuxes and suits, and we see a bunch of girls in very nice dresses kind of walking up. And we see the stapler car kind of pulling into the drive. And that's where we're going to cut to the interior. And I'm going to go around one more time. And I would like you to describe your entrance. And I'm going to interject some other people that you see coming in to the dance as well. Let's see. I'm going to use the overlay. So,
Oh my god, there's something going on with you.
actually, Laz, you have to work the door and work the punch bowl. So you're there kind of at the beginning.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of people here, but go ahead and describe your arrival.
I think his arrival is fairly unceremonious because I think it's probably early because he has to be at the door, whenever the first people start getting there. So I think I think we see the door open to the school, and Laz enters and looks around and puts his skateboard in the hall and just skates down the hallway.
Oh my god.
Straight up to his locker, where he does like a kick stop and picks up the board and puts his skateboard and a shoebox that says Converse on the outside in the locker, and he kind of stares at it for a second, leaving his hand there, and then he kind of like nods and he shuts the locker.
As soon as you shut the locker, classic, somebody's standing there.
Oh my god.
It's Claire Spicer.
Oh my god.
She has her. Did we ever establish is Claire's hair color?
No,
She
but
gotta
whatever
be
color it
blonde.
is, it's flat.
I think that Claire has kind of a auburn, almost a reddish, but you can tell. Well, maybe you can't, Laz, but I think definitely some of the girls will be able to tell that between the game and the dance, she's had sort of like a hair extension piece added on that's already super curly and kind of poofy, and but anything that would normally be big and hairsprayed up 80s style isn't. But she's wearing a sort of an emerald green dress, very similar in style probably to what Rosie is wearing, which we haven't seen yet, but kind of the style of the times. But she's wearing that classic Claire expression on her face. I thought you would have been here like 15 minutes ago.
Jesus.
Did you seriously ride
You
your
gotta be careful.
skateboard here?
Somebody's gonna drop a house on you.
Haha, very funny. Shouldn't you be at the door? People are starting to arrive.
I just got here.
I know, that's the problem. All right, forget that. Tonight, it's the Midnight Masquerade. The decorations are done. Everything is flawless. Everything looks great. You're here. My job is not to babysit you. I just need to make sure everything goes over fine. I don't care what you do, as long as Dr. Sharp doesn't come looking for me if you somehow screw things up.
Look, I did what I had to do. Like, this is what I was told to do, so I'm doing it. What more do you
Good.
want?
You'll make a good inmate someday.
God. Wow, what a bitch.
And
a bitch.
you just see as she kind of flips her hair, and as she flips her hair, she starts to walk away. And you see her kind of reaching up and making an adjustment, because as she haughtily flipped her hair, that extra piece sort of came loose a little bit.
That's awesome.
As
Last
she
just giving her the double guns.
and she just doesn't see them as she walks away. And then I think for the purpose of the rest of the people arriving, what I would like to do is at some point, somebody else is brought in. Dr. Sharp actually stops by briefly, doesn't say 2 words to you, other than actually the 2 words he says to you are punch bowl. You are being relieved from door duty and sent inside. I want you, the DM wants you inside as everybody's arriving into the gym and all of that stuff. So next up, Coop. You're already at the school, so you probably get there before some of the others.
I was literally probably the kid who was standing by the table when Claire said, "There's already people waiting." So Laz looks, Coop's like, "Hi," and
Ooh,
hold on, Coop.
you look awesome.
I know, thanks.
Oh man, Carrie stepped away and didn't get the immediate reaction. We'll see how long it takes her to notice.
So Coop is what is it? Coop is literally wearing the tuxedo T-shirt unironically.
I think it's fantastic. You look great.
Thanks. I wanted to
You
be
were-
fancy.
You did something with your hair.
I did. I combed it down, and I'm hoping it'll stay down, but I don't think it will when it dries.
Most of it.
As he says that, like one whole cowlick just kind of goes boing.
Boink.
Well, I guess there's like something I'm supposed to like sign in or something. Take like a ticket from you. Do you have like a ticket?
Yeah, I do. Hold on. And
oh my god.
Coop
There
pulls
it
out
is.
his little Garfield wallet, and he's got the little ticket in it.
Velcro.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Oh my-
And I imagine that's right around the time Dr. Sharp shows up and relieves you with somebody else, so you and Coop kind of can walk into the gym together. And there are other people starting to show up, so yeah, a few other people, but we'll go ahead and let's jump to Oak. And did you grab Gertie? Let me rephrase that. Did you pick Gertie up from somewhere, or were you meeting her here at the dance? Sorry, let me back up and correct myself. Did you pick up Gertie from somewhere, or did you meet them here at the dance?
I think I would have met them dance because based on what we had discussed, they seemed very occupied on getting their other alternate obligations out of
Yes.
the way. So it was
Yeah, I'm thinking about that. Yeah, so Gertie probably would have insisted that you meet them at the dance. So, I think as you walk in, Oak, as soon as you walk in, Gertie is standing at the punch bowl with two of those punch cups, just a little, they've got the little handle on them, little thing, but they've got two of those, and immediately come walking up to you and hand you a bowl of not a bowl, sorry, this punch bowl is gonna mess me up.
just a full bowl. Here you
Oh,
go.
boy.
Hand
Take
you
one.
a cup
One
of
for
punch.
everyone.
They hand you a cup of punch. And
Laz is going through Kool-Aid like there's no tomorrow.
they
It's just-
immediately, they do stop and kind of give you an appreciative, Buckaroo Banzai. I approve.
my
Here,
God.
take this and let's blend in. As they say, let's blend in, there's literally probably like 30 people here at this moment, so there's not like a huge crowd to blend into.
Yep. I'll take it, and then I look over at Laz. I think in that moment, because if Laz is near the punch bowl. Hey, buddy. I thought you were on ticket duty.
I was for a little while. And then apparently I wasn't doing it right or fast enough or something for Claire, so she told Sharp about it, and now Sharp pulled me off to do this.
Hey,
You want some punch?
Got it.
You should
can
get
I-
some now.
Can I talk to you for a minute?
He kind of looks around. Yeah,
Coop's
yeah,
standing
sure.
right there and goes, it's okay, I can do this for a little while.
You're the best, Coop.
Dude,
Uh,
Coop is the best friend.
If
in
I
this
could,
group.
if I could pull Laz off to the side for a second, and I look to Gertie. I'll be right there. Hold on 1 second. Listen, I don't have a lot of time during the dance to talk to you about this, so we're going to do it right now. Okay?
Okay, everything all right?
Yeah, for me and probably for most of them, but I'm worried about you, bud.
Me?
Yeah.
I'm,
So
it
I'll-
sucks, but it's fine, you know.
I
like-
know, I know, but look,
Oh,
listen.
you hear immediately over your shoulder.
Yep.
Looking to your side, you see Gertie standing there. If we're gonna blend in, this is not who we should be blending in with. No offense.
How's that supposed to mean?
No, he's a friend of mine, and I'd like to just. He's gonna not really be able to enjoy the dance, so I just wanted to be able to meet with him before, everything went down.
Give me a charm check, please.
Yeah. Charm for me.
This is going to be an opposed check.
Yep. Cool. That's fine.
Is this
Come
your
on,
date?
Gertie. Oh yeah. Sorry, I'm so rude. This is Gertie. Gismondi. They're my date for tonight.
That's
Yeah.
nice to meet you.
Charmed,
Yes.
I'm sure.
I guess we'll find out based on the rules.
Okay.
Sorry.
So
Rolls are on the next table.
rolls are on the next table. Punch is here. Okay. I got with everything. You know what? I think can I bump that up by 2 pops just for
What's
some.
up, boy?
Two.
Ow,
So
boy.
we're gonna bump it up by 2 pops. So I got a 5 all up.
So,
I'd like to make it a
This is
7.
one of those cases where, that's 5 with them bumped up.
No, 5 plus 2, so that'd be 7.
Okay. So this is one of those cases where I'm not going to make you waste your pops.
Okay, then that's fine.
Because Gertie's charm exploded
Oh,
my
no.
God.
Okay.
and is a 15.
Oh,
good
damn.
lord.
She's so
and
charming.
this is not coming across as like how you would normally read charming. It's being read more as, if anything, intimidation.
Oh, damn.
Like,
Okay.
Gertie is giving you the we are here together as a date. You see your friend every day. Again, no offense, but we should be, like, I don't know, dancing or socializing. And she kind of
Okay.
leans into
Yeah,
you
no,
and goes,
you're right.
"Or blending
right.
in."
Okay, you're
Laz
right.
leans over and grabs 2 cups of punch and hands one to each of them. There you go. We'll talk later.
They now
Yes,
both have 2 cups of punch because they did both
we're
have
double,
a
we're double fisted punch now.
Yeah.
This
It's gonna
actually
be a
kind of
tough night.
throws.
You better.
This kind of throws Gertie off a little bit. But
That's awesome.
I would like a quick brains check from let's do one for both Laz and Oak.
Yeah, sure. Woo, okay, that's not bad. That'll be an 11 for me.
I got a 2.
Ooh.
So this is not one that will, the kind of roll that will require a consequence. Think of this as almost like a perception type roll. In this case, you, Oak, you sense that Gertie, as she's ushering you away, they are very intentionally keeping you away from Lass specifically. And as you get far enough away, Gertie says, "Look, I didn't want you to have to find out this way. But I think that your friend Lass has also been compromised by the robots. That's not your friend." Lass is literally over there dancing the robots.
He hasn't
Okay.
done
The
anything
song-
suspicious at all. What are you talking
The
about?
song Domo
Pan over
Arigato,
to-
Mr. Roboto
pan
is
over.
playing. Domo, domo, domo.
Yeah. Look, I mean, yeah, he's a little stiff and, is a little bit, antisocial, but that doesn't mean he's a robot.
Well, that remains to be seen. And we're going to shift back to the sort of shimmery silver and black curtains that everybody has to pass through to walk into the gym, where Billy Stapler, accompanied by both Jessica Smith and Rosie Gunnarsson, shows up. And I think it's safe to say a few heads turn when Billy turns up with 2 well-known and very, very well dressed up popular girls. As you all enter, go ahead and describe your entrance, and then I do have an interrupt.
I imagine, like, as soon as they get in, they come in as a triad. Like, immediately, Rosie's trying to, like, get away from them because they're a couple, and, like, she doesn't want to be the third wheel. She already has been so much, and she's just, like, trying to, like... yeah.
If Jess sees that, she like stops Rosie and she calls over to Laz.
Oh my god. Why do you do this so suddenly? Why don't you ever tell me about your stupid plans?
This is for your own good. Laz! Hey! And she's like waving him over.
Yeah, he kind of like looks around the room for a second to try to figure out where the call is coming from. And then when he looks and he spots them, he kind of waves. Hey, how are you doing?
I'll join
She, like,
in.
gestures him
Snap my
over.
fingers and like point to Rosie, and kind of call you forward.
As like if Laz is coming forward, you see like Jessica just kind of like push Rosie like into Laz and then just like holds onto Billy's arm and just like, let's go. And like
Wow.
Real quick,
zooms away.
Moving the chess pieces here.
And this is the interrupt. Before you get 2 steps away, and while the 4 of you are still there, Claire Spicer steps up. She is with Benjamin Jones, also known to you as Jonesy.
Jonesy.
Jonesy is her date.
Wow.
And Claire is standing, sort of stands purposefully in front of Billy and Jessica. Hold on just 1 minute, you two. Oh, I'm sorry, Rosie. You're not needed for this. You can And she doesn't even finish her sentence. She just goes,
What a bitch. Okay, hold on.
No, Rosie stays.
no, this is homecoming court business.
You see,
I'm
just,
required to
like-
give this
No,
to
no,
you.
no. Don't worry, Jess. I'll step away. And then Rosie takes like a big step back, but stays right there then and is just staring at them as they have their meeting.
She steps forward and you can see she has something in her hands. And without any kind of permission or tact or anything, she reaches up and she reaches to pin something to the front of your dress.
My dress?
No. You wish.
Good.
To Jessica's dress.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh,
the
damn.
thing she wants to pin is a knife.
And
A knife.
you will notice at the same point, I think you'll notice that Claire and Ben are also wearing pins on their dress or on their lapel that look like little crowns. And she pins this crown to your dress, and then she pins one to Billy's lapel. I don't know how, don't know why, but the two of you are on the homecoming court.
That's awesome.
That means
That's great. Rosie is
when
amazed
the
by this.
king and queen of the homecoming are crowned later, you'll get to watch as they probably place the crown upon my head. No, but
Laz
seriously,
steps
good
up.
luck.
Laz steps up next to Rosie, like as Claire's finishing that. Oh, look, it's the Wicked Bitch of the West again.
Rosie smiles and laughs, and I think she just like looks at Laz and she says, "You look great."
I was gonna say the same thing. I don't think I've ever seen you in a dress before.
Yeah, I haven't been in a lot of them before. Hey, Laz, do you want to go to homecoming with me?
He kind of looks around. I don't know. Of course, yeah. I mean, if you don't mind, like hanging out by the punch bowl.
And Rosie smiles and like has to stand on her tiptoes a little bit and kisses him on the cheek and be like, "I am so not going to be out and about with this dress on. Punch bowl is fine."
Yeah, those shoes don't look very comfortable.
I'm in so much pain right now. Let's go sit down. And Rosie goes with him.
So, over the next, we'll do a little time jump. As the dance is starting to pick up swinging, the rest of the homecoming court is pinned as they enter, and word buzzes around pretty quickly that the other homecoming court nominees are Brad Dawson and Rita Wilson, to which nobody is surprised. Leonard Shakiti and Victoria Van Houten. Leonard is wearing what looks to be an extremely expensive black and white checkered tuxedo to match Victoria's black and white checkered dress. It is very obvious that she bought the tuxedo for him. Victor Van Houten is wearing a black and white pinstriped, and whether intentionally or unintentionally, kind of gives off Beetlejuice. And he is wearing a red, like a blood red rose on his lapel. And that same blood red color is the color of Vanessa Dubois' dress. As the two of them are also pinned as homecoming court. And then, of course, is Billy Stapler, Jessica Smith, and Benjamin Jones and Claire Spicer. The dance floor is yours. I would like to, for a little while, turn it over to all of you to do whatever you want to do during this dance period.
At some point, probably not too far into the evening, Laz wants to see if Rosie will come with him to his locker.
Yeah. This is like strictly verboten, like being out and about in the building after hours, and but Rosie just says, "Who's gonna hand the punch out? What if Dr. Sharp comes? Is he a doctor in this world? Is he an educational doctor?"
It's been well established that he is Dr. Devin Sharp in this world.
Okay. What if Dr. Sharp comes or something?
I'll tell him I had to go to the bathroom.
Good enough for me. And Rosie gets up and it's like, "Can we swing by my locker too? I think I might trade out these shoes. The dress is floor length anyway. These are killing me. I gotta put on my sneakers."
He kind of smiles and he says, "Come on."
I go.
When they get to his locker, he opens it and he pulls that shoebox out. He said, I didn't know if, like, you know, Jimmy was like gonna be able to come because of his leg and everything, and so just in case if it didn't work out, well, here. And he hands her the box.
My God.
If she opens it inside, there is a pair of black Converse, very similar to his own, in what he hopes is Rosie's size.
Oh my God.
And a corsage in there as well.
This is the kindest thing that anybody's ever done for Rosie. Rosie like takes the box lid off and is just like, oh.
I don't know if they're the right size or not, but you know.
Oh, are they 9.5? Men's 7.5?
Yeah, 7.5.
That's perfect. And Rosie like takes off she like kicks off her shoes with a clatter. And she puts these on and she goes, "Oh, thanks." And then she like takes the little corsage out. Does it perchance match her dress? Just like by chance, literally.
I don't think it matches, but I think it doesn't clash.
Okay,
he
perfect.
probably went with something. I think he probably went with
neutral.
like a white and black, like arrangement, perfect. Something like that would go with pretty much anything.
That's great, and it does. And Rosie is 10,000 times happier right now. Half of that is because her feet are comfortable, and half is because this is a very nice gesture from Laz. And then she kind of laughed and she says, "For a second, when you handed me the shoebox, I thought you were like giving me weed or something."
No, I mean, I have some of that too if you want.
Oh, maybe later. This is we got to people watch first.
Oh yeah, speaking of which. And he reaches in and he pulls out like a small, like flat bottle of whiskey, and he like puts it inside of the breast pocket of his jacket.
Oh my God.
It's for the punch.
Yeah, I figured that out. Didn't think you were gonna be taking hits off of it like Dad.
Come on, we better go. Do you still want to go by your locker?
No, this is all I needed anyway. Thanks. And Rosie would follow Laz back to the gym.
Do you put the heels in Laz's locker?
Yeah, I think Rosie would have put them back in the bottom of his locker just to swing by later and grab. Or tomorrow, or Monday rather.
Yeah, during the day.
Yeah, right. And be like, thanks. Perfect. Rosie is specifically watching Claire and like talking to Laz, like, Jess and Billy are gonna win. They're gonna win because Jess isn't a gigantic bitch and Billy is Billy.
I don't see how a sophomore is going to win Homecoming King, but whatever.
You know what? He's Billy Stapler. He can pull some strings.
This is Paradise.
It's who you know.
I think as you watch Claire, this is one of those things probably where we see the familiar figures kind of moving in and around everybody's scenes, and anytime we see Claire, she's mostly fussing over something, some decoration, or even at one point during a dance with Ben Jones, as the two of them sort of dance closer, he almost looks like he's about to lean in for a kiss, and they get close to the stage, and she notices that one of the potted plants is out of position. As if he starts to lean in, she like breaks away and straightens something up, and then the slow song stops, and Ben just kind of. And Claire doesn't even look for him. She just goes off to tending to something else.
Awesome. That's what you get for going with her, Jonesy. Sorry. Have a good time.
Jump in. Everybody jump in when you got something you want to do.
So I imagine that, Billy and Jessica spend a decent amount of time on the dance floor. Billy's basically just trying to do whatever Jess is into. You want to break? We'll go sit down. You want to keep dancing? We keep dancing.
Yeah, Jessica is just having a great time. Like, she is just dancing, and she'll try and find Coop and Oak and dance like with them. Just like, you can see Jess is just really trying to just enjoy the evening. So she's every time I imagine she is like holding Billy's hand to like take him to different places, to do like different dances and stuff, and she doesn't even seem to mind that. I'm sure Billy might need a little bit of like help with like getting things like the dancing and stuff like that. Like, she just doesn't seem to mind at all. And even I would think that she might even seem a little bit not as good at dancing as maybe one might think Jess would be. But it's the enthusiasm and the confidence that she's putting into it. So
90% of it.
Yeah.
And Billy is along for the ride, and he, isn't willing to, fight in any way, shape, or form. He's probably not the best dancer, but certainly like he's not up there making a fool of himself. But he's having a blast.
I would ask Laz if he wants to dance for a couple of songs.
Yeah, I think he's definitely down.
Perfect.
Yeah, I think he's actually probably a pretty good dancer. Not like great, but and probably not as much with the slow dancing.
Yeah. Rose, they try to slow dance a couple of times, and it's cute and whatever, but it's clearly they're having way, way more fun during the very active songs.
Coop watches the punch bowl for them while they dance.
Oh,
and while
thank you, Coop.
While he's watching the punch bowl, he drinks a lot of punch. Like, a lot of punch. And, like a lot of punch.
Oh my god.
After Les.
Early on, it's okay. Because, Coop doesn't understand why, but he's suddenly feeling really good. And so he gets out there and he, like, tries to lead the whole dance floor in the African anteater ritual, or I'm just kidding. If you get the reference, you get the reference. But like he'll start them on the electric slide and stuff, right? And then as the night goes on, Coop peaks and then dips. And at one point when Laz gets back, Coop's sitting in the chair and he looks at him and goes, Laz, I don't feel very good.
Oh no.
Huh? You don't feel okay? You look like you might be sick.
Having a real fun time.
Yes.
I was dancing. Everybody was dancing with me.
Coop, how much of this punch have you had?
It's really good punch, Laz. I had like a lot.
Coop's got the Kool-Aid smile. That's how much. Yeah. That's how much.
Like a lot. Because it's really good. I've got to pee. Coop just wanders off into the hallway towards the bathroom.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Rosie is partaking in the punch, even though she knows that it's like it's got some booze in it. She's having fun too, though less fun decidedly than Coop.
At some point, Fight for Your Right comes on, and Laz absolutely drags Rosie out onto the dance floor.
100%.
As long as she'll go.
Absolutely.
Yep.
We are fist pumping. It is very fun. It is a very active song.
I think that at some point, Oak and Gertie are like blending in. We've been dancing for a little bit here and there, as much as he can drag them to dance, right? Because I don't know their intentions of like what they want to do or how they want to vibe, like what they want to do with their evening. So I think I'm trying to get them to focus on the dance, but that's definitely not their intention. And then I realize at some point I forgot to give them the corsage, and I have it. I have it with me. I just forgot to give it to them at the beginning. So I think that he sets his punch down for a second. He's like, I'll be right back. Hold on one sec. I forgot something. And he runs and he'll go to, he'll try to go to his locker. And at that point, actually, I would like to see if I can run off and find Dr. K.
Please tell me he's chaperoning.
I was going to say, I don't think you have to go very far.
I didn't know if I needed to go into the hallway or if he's actually.
I don't think you even need to go in the hallway. I think there's several teachers here, including Dr. Sharp, that are chaperoning, keeping an eye on things. And while some of them are sort of good-naturedly pushing students that seem to be getting a little too intimate on the dance floor, kind of walking up and separating them, at least a couple of teachers are, I imagine, just off in the corner, on the table near where the chaperones sit. You see that there's several empty punch cups. So a couple of the teachers may be falling victim to the spiked punch. But then off in the shadows along the edge is Dr. K, and he's alone, and he's just keeping an eye on things.
Hey, I think at this point, Oak has the corsage. He's gone out, got it. He's coming back, and he's like, hey, I need to talk to you for a second. Like, real bad, talk to you for a second.
I'm not entirely sure it's a good idea that we're talking to one another.
Yeah, well, it might be a bad idea if I don't talk to you for a second.
Well, I'm here, and the music's obscuring our conversation, I'm sure, so...
Okay, so look. If I have news of stuff that's gonna happen that might affect my friends, should I not tell you?
I do not remember being this high-strung when I was your age.
I'm 12. When are we not high-strung?
If you have something to tell me, tell me. I mean, there's a good chance I probably already know it anyway.
Okay, listen. You know about the EMPs, right? Please tell me you know.
I know what an EMP is, an electronic.
I know you know what it is.
Electromagnetic pulse.
They are here in the school.
Why would there be an EMP in the school?
Because my date decided.
Hold on a second.
Decided to.
Hold on 1 second. And he stops. He reaches out and he puts a hand on your shoulder. And you see for a second his eyes kind of flutter. His eyelids just kind of. Oh no. And it's similar to when you were down in the sub basement with all of the back to tanks. when he said he wanted you there thinking, so that your sort of your sane brain would eventually sort of work. He seems to have almost directly accessed this, like it's now a memory that he has.
And if we don't do something about that, what happens to my actual friend in the tank?
Oh, if they're in the tank, they should be fine.
Yeah, but if it's an electromagnetic pulse and it stops all electricity in the building, does that stop the tank?
Oh, I won't worry about the tanks. Those tanks are almost a kilometer below the school.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, okay.
I'm fairly certain that an EMP, which, if it even goes off, let's be honest, it's a 12 or 13-year-old that put the thing together.
Yeah, I mean, true. It's probably going to be the size of a race car, but I mean, I just want to relax and have fun and enjoy my time. But I'm just like a tight bowl of mess. I don't know what to do.
Laz and all the others down in the tanks are going to be fine. But their surrogates up top here are not going to be fine.
Yeah. So how do we fix that? Without her, without my date knowing.
Somewhere in the background, we see Gertie going, and then just kind of moves across frame, like they're looking for you, but they can't find you. All right. So now this I need to actually ask. I need to ask you guys because I don't remember this. Robbie D showed Billy an EMP.
Robbie D showed Billy,
and Gertie showed you an EMP. Me. But does everybody know that there's two EMPs? I don't think you guys have.
Rosie doesn't know that there's any EMPs.
Right.
I think Opie and Robbie know.
I think Oak knows that there's two though because he watched both of them pass at the game.
You watched them pass. You saw them pass by. And Laz was affected by it, but yeah, I think you are only aware of the one.
So I'm only aware of the one. Okay.
That's what I wanted to clarify.
Oak is only aware of the one. Yeah.
We need. All right. You keep Gertie occupied.
Yep. Can do.
I'm gonna start looking for this EMP, and you see that he reaches into the inside, and I should have said, this is the first time you've seen Dr. K not wearing a lab coat. He's wearing a sort of a brown corduroy suit with a brown checkered shirt underneath.
Yes. Yes.
But he reaches inside his suit coat pocket and he pulls out what looks like a tape recorder, but he presses a button and it just straight up looks like a Ghostbusters detector. As it just goes, and he and kind of, all right, I'm gonna start looking, and he very carefully starts moving around the perimeter of the gym.
And Oak will make his way back to Gertie. I am so sorry about that. I got so sorry. Here's your. I forgot to give this to you earlier. And you see that it is a mixture of. I knew you said you weren't wearing a dress, but that doesn't matter because I figured you should still get a corsage. The corsage is like a mixture of orange and oranges and blues and very complementary colors.
Thank you. I weirdly had almost forgotten about that.
Well, yeah, you asked me for one. I wasn't going to forget.
No, is it pin or one of those wrist ones?
It's a wrist one.
As soon as you say that, they just go.
Yep. Yeah, it's very cute, very awkward, and I love it. I love all of
And
it.
despite everything,
precious.
Gertie does kind of smile a little bit, and once it's on their wrist, just kind of goes, "I like it very much," and very
That's the best
unexpectedly leans in and gives you a quick peck on the lips. Immediately pulling back, says, "I am so sorry. I should have asked you if that beforehand. Is that okay?"
Yeah, I was. He is flush, like he is blushing.
Oh no, I completely messed this up, didn't I?
No. I wasn't expecting that, and that was my first one. So like, was that your first one?
It was mine too.
Oh.
Should we try that again? Better?
I mean,
it's in the true spirit of scientific research. You can't get a good result from just one attempt.
yeah, sure, we can. Yeah, we can do that. But how about this? Let's go dance. Let's go dance for science, and then it'll happen organically, so we'll get a better result that way. I think.
Yeah.
How about that?
Make me a charm roll.
Okay.
Oh my god. The DC is 1.
The DC is 1. She is smitten.
It is going to be opposed.
Oh well, Okay. That is a total of 12 because I exploded. So.
Oh my god.
And Gertie got a 1.
What did I say?
Gertie has. We'll consider that for at least for the next little bit, you have successfully distracted Gertie with the kissing for science and dancing for science ploy, which may not even be a ploy. It may be legitimately you want to dance with them and kiss them.
Kissing for Science just so happens to be a song on Lazarus's new album.
Absolutely.
It's a techno bop.
Somebody make a note of that. That's going to be on the concert tour shirt. Kissing for Science. I love it. Is there anything anybody else wants to do? We are coming up on another interrupt. Then I think this is the perfect place for the interrupt, which is after one of these sets of slow songs sort of comes to an end. You hear suddenly from up at the stage, you hear, and that sort of feedback for a moment, and you see that Claire is standing at the microphone on stage and says, "Hi everyone,
Shut up."
I am, of course, Claire Spicer,
Who?
and as head of the homecoming committee this year, it is my honor, no, it is my privilege to present to you the nominees for Homecoming King and Queen, your homecoming court. When I call your names, please come stand together at the front of the steps. Brad Dawson and Rita Wilson. And there's applause as Brad and Rita make their way to the front. Leonard Shakiti and Victoria Van Houten. And Claire is doing that thing. She's holding her paper and she's doing that thing where you can hear over the microphone and it's a very soft, very polite clapping. Victor Van Houten and Vanessa Dubois. Billy Stapler and Jessica Smith.
Woo!
Oh, get the card, Billy!
Benjamin Jones and Claire Spicer. Oh, that's me. Ben, you can just come stand next to me. And you see Ben very uncomfortably walks up on the stage to stand next to Claire.
Jonesy!
As you all know, it has been through a series of voting over this past Spirit Week. We all remember, of course, that it was Spirit Week. Every day was a different thing. You wore pajamas one day. It was the 80s, so unfortunately there was probably a dresses a
50s
nerd
day, poodle skirt day.
All that kind of stuff. And throughout the week, there was voting, which is how it turned out that the court was nominated, was by the people. By the people. But those who received the highest number of votes, and even I don't know the results of this, will be crowned our homecoming king and our homecoming queen for the remainder of the year. And she reaches down to the podium and she pulls out another envelope and says, "And now, the moment we've all been waiting for. Our homecoming king and queen." She tears the envelope open. She opens it and she goes, and you actually hear her go, "What the hell?" And off to the side, Dr. Sharp just kind of goes,
Language.
language.
Bingo square.
Goes, Paradise Academy's homecoming king and queen for 1985 are Billy Stapler and Jessica Smith.
What? I'm high-fiving Laz. I'm high-fiving everybody around me.
And
Hear
Mosh pit
a
of excitement.
squeal of excitement from Jessica.
Oh my god!
and Claire,
I would hug Jessica at that moment.
Claire is motioning to you two. Come on.
Of course they
Come up
won.
here.
Look at the
I will
hair.
walk as slow as possible over to her.
And you realize as you're walking up there, next to she's on the podium, you can now see are the crowns. Claire has to crown the two of you.
Oh! That's awesome.
That must suck for her.
And you can tell that it does as she first places the crown upon Billy's head. And she takes the crown for the queen. And she walks over to you, Jessica, and she turns her back to the audience. And she glances to the side. And then she just gets this smirk.
No.
But she
Oh,
carefully
no.
places the crown upon your head. It looks
Oh no.
amazing on you. And she steps away into the microphone and says, "Your homecoming king and queen. As is tradition,
Oh.
the homecoming king and queen will have the royal dance, and then the court will join them, and then the others. Make your way to the dance floor, Your Highness."
I'll hold out my hand to Jess and escort her out into the dance floor.
Oh yeah, Jess is she is loving this, and she takes Billy's hand and is like smiling wide and just looks like over the moon happy.
And
So I will, when it's just us, I'll whisper like I'm happy that you won. I don't really care much for me. I don't even understand how, but I am just so happy that she didn't get it.
as
Jessica smiles and nods, and she's like, "I'm so happy."
as you say that, and as the dance is starting, in the center of the gym are all of these streamers have been brought together, and the theme Midnight Masquerade. There's been this decoration that's essentially like very low glowing, like a moon, like a full moon up in the center.
Of course.
But as you start dancing, that full moon splits into quarters and opens up, and a disco ball with thousands of mirrors on it drops down above your head and begins spinning.
Look down, look down, look down, look down.
Well, I would say that, maybe there's like, I imagine this is a slow dance, not a fast-paced one. That's typically what's done, right? So I imagine like, go ahead.
I was going to say, yeah, this is this is where Time After Time is playing, of course. Time after time.
You would be waiting.
So I imagine like, we had that brief conversation, and then, while we're dancing, it's either like, and I'll leave this up to you, Em, either like, her head is on my shoulder, or we're like, looking into each other's eyes.
Yeah, I think that, yeah, Jessica like lays her head on Billy's shoulder as she's like, like holding on like that, like draping her arms over his shoulders and like almost like laying into his chest. And she's so happy right now in this moment.
Dr. K, as the homecoming court comes running out to comes not running out, the homecoming court joins the dance partway through. They're all dancing around all of you, and we do see this sort of a top-down view of everybody dancing, and we do catch a brief glimpse in the disco ball mirrors, and in the mirror we see thousands of Jessica staring down, and for the moment anyway, there's no sign of anger, there's no sign of resentment, there's compassion as she just watches. And then the camera shifts focus a little bit, and we see that this disco ball is actually sort of, it's made up of a almost like a lightweight mesh, and it's all these mirrors are glued to it, but there's some gaps, and we can just see between the gaps of the mirrors, we see a circuit board and coils of copper, and we see a light going blink, blink,
What?
blink, and we see a timer that is counting down, and it's less than 5 minutes. Dr. K comes running up to Oak. He says, "All right, I think I found it. I need you to come with me. It's going to be a little tricky to get this thing. We need to get it, and we need to, I think the best thing to do is take it down to the chemistry lab, and we're just going to, I think we'll dump it in the chemical shower. Come with me."
Okay, I was gonna. I guess they were like probably in the middle of a dance. I gotta go.
Gertie looks very confused for a moment and almost looks like panicked, and then sees Dr. K starting to pull you actually off the dance floor.
Yeah.
And kind of goes, it's all right. I will be waiting for you.
Okay, I'll be back.
I'll be waiting.
I didn't even. As I said that, I'm like, I think I just used a line from the song.
Yeah.
And Dr. K pulls you off to the side where some bleachers have been pulled out for some people if they want to sit on the bleachers. They've only been pulled out part way, but he kind of pulls you in this corner, and you can see he's got this little thank you, Jeremy, like PKE type meter. And as he gets under the bleachers, it goes and along the back wall is a vent, and some of the screws have been undone. And he says, "It's just inside there, but I can't. I'm too big."
God.
You mean I can't go in there?
You don't got to go all the way in. Whoever put it in there just looks like they just kind of pushed it back as far as they could. I'm just too big to get inside there. Right there, you can see it, and you see that there is a backpack, and the device has been pulled out of the backpack and placed on top of it, and you can see the lights on it, and you can see the countdown timer is now at 3 minutes.
Yep. Yeah. Oak's gonna have to. Oak's gonna do it because he's gotta. He knows that if he doesn't help, it might be real bad for everybody. So he looks to Dr. K and then, okay. Weird thing to ask. You got a screwdriver on you?
No, they're already loose.
Oh, okay.
Of course I have
know.
it. He kind of opens up his jacket and pats his pocket protector that has like red, blue, and black ink pens, a Sharpie, and both a Phillips and a standard screwdriver tucked into there. And he goes, "Of course I have a screwdriver."
Okay. He'll pull the vent
245, 244.
Start crawling in.
Oh my god.
The claustrophobia is real.
You don't have to go in very far.
No.
You get in just enough that your feet are sort of up off the floor, and you're able to get your hands on the canvas of the JanSport backpack.
Okay. He taps like the side of the vent. Pull me back out. I got it.
All right. And Dr. K grabs your legs and kind of pulls you out. He goes, "All right, I think it's best if you just go back to the dance floor and just act like everything's normal. I'll get this down to the chem lab, and I'm going to drown it in the chemistry shower."
Okay.
219, 218, I gotta go.
Go.
And he kind of tucks it inside, and he walks out from under the bleachers and just kind of goes, and he does just a little fast walk. He does stop briefly as he passes by a chair where Coop is completely slumped over in the chair, looking green as can be.
Oh, buddy.
And no time. 159, 158, and we just see him scrambling as the song is continuing to play. And as Dr. K is running with this EMP device, we see the view from up top where we can see all of the lights reflected from the disco ball, and we can hear doot 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 doot, and we catch a glimpse of the timer as it keeps counting down more and more, and we see Dr. K running with this thing, and it's at 30 seconds as he bursts into the chemistry lab. And it's counting down more, and he runs over across the chemistry lab, and he goes to where the chemical shower is. It's just a drain on the floor and a pull chain, and he runs over and he sets this thing down on the floor, and it's at 15, 14, and he pulls the chain. 13, water starts pouring down on this thing.
Can I add something?
12, 11, 10, 9.
I think Laz looks at Rosie and he says, hey Rosie.
Yeah.
I think I love you.
And
it is at that
that's
moment.
Right then, you fucker.
It is
you
at
didn't even
that
give me any
moment
agency here.
the EMP detonates and everything goes dark.
What?
What the fuck? You're fucking kidding me, dude.
Can you take a look at this?
What's going on?
Oh boy, I think we got a problem here.
Nothing is responding.
I think the EMP scenario disrupted the simulation.
That's impossible. That can't happen.
No shit, Sherlock. Also, it just did.
Wait, what's the status on the anomaly circuits? Can you run diagnostics?
Yeah, I'm on it. Chad is stable. Minor connectivity issues, but otherwise stable. Tomiko looks a little confused, but stable. Em definitely knows something's up, but is also stable.
What about the others?
Kiri has a solid connection, but is suspicious. Ted is also suspicious. The two of them, they're gonna trigger a meta paradox if we don't figure this out.
Oh, shit. Where's Jeremy? Where the hell is Jake the Game Master? Who's running this show?
What should I do?
Shut it down. Hard reboot, now!
And that's when the generators come back on. And we see Claire. Claire, what do we see happening?
What the fuck?
As soon as the generators come back
Fuck
on,
off.
Claire is in a panic. No. This can't happen in my dance. Where are they? I know they have to be responsible for this. And I'm going to leave the stage and completely leave Ben where we were dancing. And Ben kind of doesn't even, I think he just is like, whatever. And go through the generator lights coming on are kind of like, I imagine kind of like when those mercury vapor lights come on. So it's real slow that this is starting to build up. So everything's really dim. There's a lot of confusion, people looking around like, what? And it's just me storming through, and I am walking directly up to Rosie. And I don't think that I've noticed well, first, I think what I do is I just look at Rosie and I kind of shove her in the arm and I go, what did you and your friends do?
If you touch me again, we're gonna have a fucking problem. We didn't do anything. What are you talking about?
I know what's wrong with him? And I look and Laz is on the ground.
Oh shit. Laz? And Rosie gets down on her knees and is like patting him on the cheek or something and like trying to get him to wake up. Laz, wake up.
And that's where we're going to end the episode.
What the fuck, dude? What?
We did it, Jeremy.
Oh my god.
Gosh.
What
That was next level, bro.
I have been so nervous about this transition.
I told you it was going to be
Was
great,
the whole
dude.
fucking you not having internet earlier bullshit too? Were
No,
you
that
too
was
conspiring?
real. That was
okay.
real. I was in a
Okay.
state of panic / depression because I thought we weren't going to be able to do this.
Oh my god.
The me not having internet was a very real thing. But how long have we been cooking this up, Jeremy?
What's
2
all
weeks?
this? What's all these chunks on the
Yeah,
floor?
about
Oh, it's
2
the
weeks.
fourth wall.
Yep.
All right. Well, I'm just gonna say we're all sitting in our own places, but that deserves a standing ovation.
100%, bro.
I-
Let's
Jacob,
go.
way to go. Told you.
God
I do
Beautiful.
not often get to surprise the crap out of people.
I'm in shock. I need to go
So,
lay down or
That was good
something.
times.
so
I've got to rewatch
have you
it
guys
100
looked?
times.
Have you guys noticed the overlay?
Yeah,
Yes.
you're Claire.
Yeah.
You changed.
Yeah.
You switched.
So we ended a little early. I debated. I actually was going to have Jeremy end the session, and then we were just going to have Jeremy take us out, and we weren't going to address any of this. And I thought, that's not fair. Everybody's going to want to know what the heck, how did we do this?
Is this like a several session thing now?
So,
Is this your square
I
assignment for a
will
bit?
say, for the next I think we've decided roughly 2 to 5 sessions, however long Jeremy needs. Jeremy has control of Paradise Academy and what happens to our characters, and I have told Jeremy, you can do whatever you want, carte blanche, and whatever you do is canon.
That is the most terrifying thing you could have told him.
You must be cooped drunk with power.
Let me before I jump into this, because I know people have questions. Would you like me to take a few minutes and just kind of tell you how I pulled this off?
I know you want to. So
behind the curtain,
yeah,
spin the yarn.
So, I came up with the idea when it was after the EMPs were introduced. I was like, I don't know what's going to happen with that. And then I got this idea was, what if the EMPs actually affect the meta somehow? And I started thinking on it, and then I reached out to Jeremy and I said, hey, I know for a fact that there is a 99.9% chance that at least one EMP is going to detonate, which means Laz is going to be taken out. I don't want you to just sit in a back to tank for a few sessions. And then I pitched the idea, would you be interested in running and me playing a character for a few sessions? And I believe your response was F yeah.
And of all the people, you chose Claire?
So you
Claire's
notice
the best choice.
So
don't you understand?
I spent the last couple sessions leaning into the rivalry with Claire, knowing that you guys were going to be forced to work with her.
Oh my God.
There was a chance. I did briefly consider playing Robbie D or an entirely new character altogether, even possibly playing an adult character. And I thought, no, the best thing is when you have the rival character have to work with the main characters. So, real quick, the technical wizardry is mostly just having an understanding of how Stream Deck works, and I did do a lot of video and audio
voice
editing.
Actors?
Me.
Were they both you?
Yes. I will explain that here real quick. So here's what happened. I recorded, because normally I would have tapped you and somebody else to be voice actors for me, but obviously I couldn't do that. So what I did is I wrote a script out that was the two voice 1 and voice 2 technicians, and I thought I want them to be a man and a woman, and I recorded into, just grabbed my phone and I said all the voice 1 lines, opened up TikTok, and TikTok has voice over filters.
I knew that sounded familiar.
I went through every single one of them until I found one that worked, Townie. And then once I had it set up, I just played it into the microphone and recorded it. Did the same thing for the girl voice, edited them all to pieces, grabbed several different pieces of glitches and static overlays and all that kind of stuff, timed both videos out so that when the EMP went off, a video went over the whole screen for about 10 seconds. That was the blackness, and then coming back on, which was used to hide the start of the 2 glitch videos. While those glitch videos are playing, my video has all the audio attached to it. And so you're listening to the computer sounds and the voices talking through everything. And then this window had the please stand by. While those are playing, a second version of my camera opened up here and Jeremy's turned off. A second version of Jeremy's window opened and mine turned off up there. And I had pre-lined them up and I pre-timed them so that when the videos ended, we would be revealed. And then for the last 5 seconds after that, the overlay slowly transitioned to show Jeremy and me. I almost feel like I need to do a tutorial video at some point on this.
Even knowing how it works, that it's like a magic trick. You know that it's like not real magic, but it's still fucking impressive.
you gotta keep that close to your heart, man, because that was amazing, and you don't want the whole world to know all of your secrets.
This definitely needs to be a highlight on the YouTube, like a clip of the whole transition. Agreed. I probably rehearsed it 20 or 30 times over the last few days, and then Jeremy and I got together and went over it a few times yesterday to make sure that we understood our cues. You know me, I don't like scripted events. So
Jake, just look at Chad. Look at Chad right now.
He is delighted. Also paralyzed.
Never more have I wanted to go back and watch all of your reactions. When that screen went black, when the EMP went off, and your jaws dropped.
Yeah.
And then when the glitches came up, you had new, confused and what's going on expressions. But then when the voice started referring to all of you by name,
when it said Chad, I was like, I must have misheard. Like, that's what I was like.
She says,
yeah, what is it? Just a note. Next time you should start with a name like M or
so it's like
or Carrie,
obscure.
So that it's not obscure at all.
Well, I wanted it to be a slow realization, but
It was.
Chad, you totally picked up on it, and it was happening tonight. Chad is stable, a few connectivity issues, but otherwise stable. And Chad's like, yeah, that sounds about right.
Yep.
And
M looks suspicious.
the
awesome.
the phrase that the trigger phrase was, what about the anomaly surrogates?
Yeah. We are the surrogates.
So there's a meta plot that's just been
Or are
introduced. I'll just
we
say
the
that.
anomalies? We are the anomalies.
So that was the other part of my plan. But yeah,
Tomiko, you
so-
and I need to brainstorm this. We need to have a breakout session.
for the next few sessions, Jeremy is in charge. I am a player. Jeremy, I do have to put together a character sheet. And you and I can talk sometime before next session to figure out if you need any resources that I have available to you, such as names and all that kind of stuff. Plus, you'll want access. You'll need access to a couple of roll tables. But yeah, Jeremy has full control to do whatever he wants, and it's canon. Meaning, now I'm not saying he's going to do this, but I did not put a block on anybody, including established characters, NPCs, locations, anything. Jeremy can do whatever he wants. This is an experiment that I'm very excited to be the mastermind of and a part of. And honestly, we just talked last week or the week before about how much I was getting into the mean girl roles, and I was like, kind of want to play the mean girl.
Yes, I was like, I'm so thrilled that this is what you chose.
I even told my coworker, whose name is Claire, and I had told her, because Carrie, you created two NPCs, Claire Spicer and Katie Galloway. My coworker's name is Claire Galloway, and so I had told her about that. So anyway, yeah. I'm definitely going to go back and watch that scene again, because I need to see all of your reactions again and just bank that emotion. Thank you to everybody who tuned in with us. Thank you, of course, for all the bits and subs and sub renewals and all that kind of stuff. As always, thank you for everybody joining us in the chat tonight. As always, I love seeing that chat active and seeing people interacting. I think there was even a point where I said, man, you guys are being so sweet to each other, and in this moment I almost feel bad for what I'm about to do to them. And I think Tamiko's the only one that caught that. But no, thank you to everybody. If you are somebody that lurks quietly in the background, kudos to you for staying quiet and lurking during this episode. In this scene in particular. And if you're watching on the VODs later, of course, we appreciate you all the same, and hope you enjoy our presentation. And of course, I could not have done this without these amazing players who I knew would just roll with this. I love playing with these people. They're some of my best friends. I love getting to spend every Thursday with them, and getting to just experiment with the gameplay and introduce new stuff and just go, you know what? Somebody else is going to DM for the next few sessions. So, as always, the hugest thank you of all to these amazing players. Chad, Tamiko, Carrie, Ted, Jeremy, and Em. Without whom, this would just be me talking to myself for a few hours. With that, we're going to go ahead and end the stream the same way we end every stream. You can say it with me if you want. EMP!
Let's go!